Hello chickies, welcome to the Fully Booked Penguin channel. I am Hannah and today we're doing our first TBR of 2026 and that is for January. Here we are, we're starting afresh for the new year. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the way we're going to choose our TBR from this point forward all the year, but for now we are going to utilise a spin wheel. A TBR spin wheel is what we're going to utilise for our TBR decisions, and we're going to start off with 9 prompts. Every month, 9 prompts, which will guarantee, if I read them all, that we get to 100 books for the year. If this is your first time with me, I read a whole range of books, so from light novels, manhwa, manga, to fantasy novels, mystery novels, a bit of lit fic, and historical fiction, historical romance. So I dabble in a wide range of formats and genres. So hopefully there'll be a mix in my TBRs for the year. I do have books in the corner, which are my TBR tray, I call it. I don't tend to have a huge backlist. I don't have hundreds of books on my TBR. I read what I have, and then I might bring in a couple more or a few more series. If you want to see what series I'm continuing and starting this year, go check out my 26 series video. So I created this TBR wheel, and it's got just a bunch of random prompts that I searched and found from various places. Some of these prompts actually lead to other prompt wheels, so we'll switch to those wheels if we happen to get one of them. Since it's the beginning of the year, I will take whatever prompt comes up, but in the future, if I spin one that we've had in like a previous TBR, I might remove it and respin. But since we're starting afresh, they're all on the line. I could get the 400 plus page thing or something else lowest rated. We shall see. So we have our first spin of the wheel. It's a story graph recommendation. So that is where we go onto my story graph. There's a recommendation section and I click through there and choose one of their recommendations. So that will require going on my computer. So we can't really do that right now. Alright, spin at number 2. It's green, which is no person on the cover. Let me go to my stack and I'll bring over a stack to choose from. We have 3 options. First up, we have Dune by Herbert. Obviously, there is not a single person on that cover. Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 2nd book in the Natural series. And then we have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. Give it squeals, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Alright, so Dune by Herbert. This might be one where I read it over several months, by the way. But we'll put it on the little list. I believe Dune is a sci-fi book. Honestly, don't know much about it. I know there's movies, and I know it's my best friend's favourite one. And I know I've been putting it off. Every time I could choose it in a prompt last year, I avoided it. So this year, we're going to face it head on. And we're going to put Dune on the TBR. No, I'm really excited. I am. Up to our next row. Book with a name in the title. I believe this is our only option. Jim and Wally, which is book. Oh! I keep forgetting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the Billabong series by Mary Grant Bruce. This is a general fiction, which is now technically historical fiction, set in the First World War. And in this one we are following Jim and Wally, who are the brother and his best friend. I believe they get caught in the trenches and so they are sent to holiday to recuperate on this island, and there an adventure may await them, along with Nora and their father, of course. I hear Jim and Wally and Captain Jim are a bit emotional. So will we start off the year with a good cry? It seems that the TBR wants me to cry. Okay, number 4. Instagram recommendation, which requires me going onto my site, which I film with. So again, we will come back to that one. We'll do all the recommendations at the same time. Spin number 5, just in case it glitches it out. If this glitches out, I'll be so frustrated. Frustrated! One of your favourite authors. There's a problem with choosing one now. Like, I don't know what upcoming prompts are coming up. Favorite author. I could go with manga and manhwa. Or I could try a novel. And considering I've got Dune and then a war novel in here, I might cheat and have a jolly good one. So give me a second. Alright, so my options are Skip Beat by Yoshiki Nakamura. It is a shoujo manga series. And we're up to volumes 22, 23, and 24. Then we have another shoujo manga, Enter of the Dawn, volume 32 we're up to, and it is by Mizuho Kusanagi. Did you hear that they announced season 2 of the anime? Did you? Did you? Then we have Villains Are Destined to Die. This is the manhwa, and the art is by Roal, but the novel it is based on is by Gwon Kyo-yu. And this is an isekai fantasy. She ends up in a game world situation. Villains were up to volume 5. Or we have Layout of Count's Family by Yu Rohan, and this is novel number 4. It is an isekai fantasy Korean light novel, and it is humorous and amazing. This series is coming to an end, and I know it's just going to get worse before it gets better. I know this one is probably going to stress me out. This series never stresses me out, and I can't remember. Yeah, I remember where we're up to in this one. I really want to. Technically, it is 3 volumes in one, so technically it's 3 books. Because I've started reviewing them separately. I think I'm going to treat myself to Skip Beat by Yoshiki Nakamura. Volumes 22 to 24. In this we are following Kyoko, who is abandoned by a childhood friend who was using her for her work, and she paid for everything while he debuted as a singer. And in order to get her revenge, she joins the business, the showbiz, but however, she can't sing. So she joins the acting business to garner her revenge. However, she runs into Suruga Ren. And let's just say he doesn't appreciate that she's in the acting business for revenge. However, she slowly proves that she's not just in it for revenge. She's actually got talent and a bit of fighting spirit. And it's just adorable. It really is. And currently she is creating a character for this bully role that she was told just to act like this previous role, Mio. But also don't act as that previous role, Mio. And she was confused about the director's directing, and I was too. But in this one, she's sneakily creating that new character, and she's gonna win over that dastardly director. So that was book number 5. Number 6. Ugly cover. Do I have any ugly covers? That's the question. It appears ugly covers aren't in the room with us. I guess I could check Kindle. Because I have one here that I wouldn't say it's ugly, but it's not my favourite cover. Ugly. That seems so cruel to call it ugly. Maybe I'll do one that I'm kind of sick of seeing the style of. I'm sick of seeing this kind of cover. You know, the romance books with the faceless, cartoonish. Obviously I hate when they have real people on the cover. It's not my style. But neither is this. I prefer more detailed characters. So I'm giving Jenny Proctor, who is a romance writer, Closed Door. I'm giving her a chance because I was reading the Appy series, which is shared between Jenny Proctor and Emma St. Clair, and I didn't really like Emma St. Clair's writing or the books, but I actually kind of enjoyed Jenny Proctor's. I felt they had a bit more depth, and yeah, I enjoyed them more. So I thought I would go to one of her other series that she does on her own, and that is where we're starting with How to Kiss Your Best Friend. I am a friends to lovers girly. It's just who I am, mum. No. So we might choose that one. Let me bring up a little blurb. Picture this. Chemistry teacher. Journalist. They come together because they were once best friends, and the journalist, she's back in town. However, they haven't really spoken for a while, and our poor chemistry teacher, well, he felt the chemistry with her a long time ago, but now he's ready to experiment, and it might just all blow up in his face. That's not what the blurb said, but I'm running with it. I think I was rather creative with it just then, so yeah, that's what you get. That's pretty much all it is. Yeah, that's all you're getting from me, at least. If you want to see more details, go to her page on Goodreads, which is linked below. I always link the books I'm reading or mention in the description. Now we're up to number 7. Neither of us are going to see it to the very last second. Interesting dedication page. This doesn't have a dedication page. Great. For Special Agent Elizabeth Harding. Thanks for everything. Does this have a dedication? Dedication? To Laura, in memory of the olden time. I do love an olden time. To Leonie, for always believing. I have 2 more I want to check. XOXO. For my smart, loving, and talented sister, Camille. This actually comes with a different name. I think it's a reprint, redo. For Catherine and James, that's hardly interesting, is it? Alright. Because I am an oldie. And I feel this is dedicated to me. Even though it says Laura, I feel it's to me. In memory of the olden time. And this book is Anne's House of Dreams, which is book 5. In the Anne of Green Gables series by Lucy Maud Montgomery. It is a historical literary fiction. It's really a classic. A lot of people are reading it nowadays, which I'm glad. I did read this series when I was very, very young. The series follows Anne, who is an orphan, and she is adopted by the Cathberts, which is an old brother and sister pair. They wanted a little boy. Turns out they got a red-headed, very talkative girl instead. And they felt very blessed by that. But she always is up to shenanigans. However, in this one, she is married, newlywed, and she is finding her own little house. There's a bit of heartbreak and side characters having their own little tales. And I always love Anne's imaginative adventures. Some of the books I didn't like as much on a second read through, now that I'm a bit older. But I feel like we're over the hump. The hump was Anne of the Island. I really did not like that book. But Anne of Windy Poplars started coming back, and I know this is back to the main Anne adventures, so it should be fun. I get to see it before you this time. Aren't I sneaky as I am? Let me see. It is my shortest book. I'll have to go onto Goodreads on my desktop to sort by pages so I know which one is the shortest book. It will be the last one we pick, but we will move on from shortest book and do our final spin. You get to say it first now. Just you. I won't hear it until the doo-doo-doos goes. Intriguing? Cover with a random colour. One of these colours on this wheel is called tomato. I don't know how that's any different from red, but here goes. Here's the wheel. Yellow. Now I could say it's the majority of yellow on the thing, but I don't even know whether we have a yellow. I mean, the text on this one is yellow. Believe it or not, this is the only one with yellow on it. Other ones in different series have yellow on them, but not the ones I'm up to. So that means we are reading XOXO by Axie Oh. In this we are following Jenny, who is a cellist, and she bumps into a K-pop star, and they start a little romance, but of course, K-pop stars, they're forbidden from dating. And so they have to navigate which is more important to them, their careers, or each other, and the love that is between them. I fully expect this to be a cheesy time, so don't judge me. I've read some of Axie Oh's fantasy ones, and this is more contemporary, young adult romance. So we'll see how we go with this one. So there's our little pile so far, but that means we have to go back to the questions we kind of skipped because I need to go to my desktop. I went online to the story graph and I scrolled through so many books. None of them were speaking to me. I must admit, the recommendation system on Storygraph isn't great. You can't even refresh and get new recommendations. You kind of have to search for it or, cater everything. But I did come across a series that I already own. I wasn't really wanting to start a book that I didn't really already have. So when I saw it, I was so thankful that it came up, and that is Father, I Don't Want This Marriage. And we're up to volume number 3. This story is by Heesu, but the art is by Roal, and it's adapted by Yuri. But we're up to number 3. So squish. In this one we're following Javelian, and I think it's an isekai, but it focuses more on almost a time loop situation. So our girl knows how she died in the past, and then she is trying to avoid that. And so she turns down this marriage with this prince or this duke or something. Some guy that doesn't really appear much, so we don't really bother with him. He's a jerk, so we don't see him much. But our girl is also afraid of the crown prince, because the crown prince in the future came in with a sword to murder her. Or did he? Her father, here he is. Everyone loves him. It's our papa in the series. He is the Duke Florian, and he is currently under the rule of the evil king. Fortunately, the father may be working with his underling, who looks a bit like someone we might know from the future. Anyway, he's working with his underling to try and overthrow, but also he's under the king's control. So, meanwhile, Javelian is getting close with her father's apprentice underling, and she wants him as her bodyguard. So, here we are. So yes, that's volume 3. It's just, I just love a great many manhwas, and this is one of them. And I'm so excited I get to read another volume. Then we had Goodreads recommendation. So I started scrolling, and I got a few lads reels. That's fine. Judge me all you want. Then we came to someone who was commenting on Yona of the Dawn Season 2 anime coming out, had a cute little video and everything. So were they talking about a book? No, but they were talking about a series that has a manga. And I'm reading the manga, so we are picking up volume 32 of Yona of the Dawn by Mizuho Kusanagi. There we go. It is going to be a stressful time. Oh. Stressful time, but we know it has to get worse before it gets better at the very end of the series, so I will fight the bad guys with Yona and the team of dragons. I guess I should tell you about the series. It's about Yona, who is a princess. She's rather naive, and her father is killed one night, and the throne is usurped by someone she knew may have liked. We don't really talk about that because it's one of those cousin situations. And she went on the run with her bodyguard Huck, and they discovered that there are these 4 dragons, or dragon people, around, which are rumoured to serve the Fire King. And Yona might have red hair like the Fire King did. Anyway, so they collect these dragons, and she slowly starts helping her people without much thought to taking back the throne. She doesn't really care for it, but she just wants to help her people. And if that means butting heads with the usurper, so be it. There's a lot of humour, but there's also a lot of stressful situations and battles and death and so many things. Political maneuverings. But I love Huck and Yona and the dragons. Blue Dragon is my favourite. And for our final book, we have the shortest book on my TBR, and that is Into the Flames by Robert Elmer. This is book 3 in the Young Underground series. I'm working my way through this. This is a middle grade Christian fiction, and it is set during the Second World War, and obviously they are in Denmark, and they are 11 in the first 2 books. I don't know how old they are in this 3rd book. And obviously they are working with the underground to defeat or maneuver around the Germans who have occupied Denmark and are all saying, peace, peace, we're here to protect you. When in fact, they aren't. So yeah, this is the 3rd book of that series. So let's quickly run through the books we have. They won't match up with the order of the prompts. I just have the pile here. Just letting you know, I'm not that professional. I didn't put them in order, so now they're in a random order. First up, we have Dune by Frank Herbert, which is a sci-fi epic. Am I excited? Not so much, but we're going to fight our way through it. Then we have XOXO by Axie Oh, and this is contemporary young adult romance. Then we have Into the Flames by Robert Elmer. This is book 3 in the Young Underground, and it is a middle grade historical fiction, Christian fiction. Then we have volume 32 by Yona of the Dawn by Mizuho Kusanagi, and it is a fantasy manga with a bit of romance chucked in as well. Then we have Father, I Don't Want This Marriage by Heesu, Roal, and Yuri. This is a fantasy romance manhwa with probably isekai or 2 time loop, I'm not sure. Then we have Anne's House of Dreams by L.M. Montgomery. This is book 5 in the Anna Green Gables series, and it is a historical fiction, literary fiction. Then we have Skip Beat, volumes 22 to 24 by Yoshiki Nakamura, and this is a shoujo manga contemporary romance mix. Showbiz. Then we have Jim and Wally by Mary Grant Bruce. This is book 5 in the Billabong series. It is a historical fiction set in the First World War. Then we have How to Kiss Your Best Friend by Jenny Proctor, which is a contemporary romance. And that brings us to a close for this month's TBR. January, a start to the month. Am I delighted by the amount of manga and manhwa on this list? Absolutely. But we also have war novels in here. And some romance. And whatever that bottom one is. So thank you for joining me for this video. Let me know down below what you're reading this month. And I shall speak to you all in the next video. Until then, peace.
T26 끝